I don't know. Production crew, do we know if that's super? That's not tagged up in the lobby.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the lobby enough.
RNG's
Anything in lobby chat?
Speaking of super, another one of those guys who played for that VG squad that got me into Dota.
I mean, it looks like it's a Smurf,
Dota.
So it might.
It certainly could be. I don't think the Smurf would be drafting. That's for sure. But at the same time, who's the coach for RNG? Isn't it Lanham?
Is it Lanham?
No, DDC.
Still? Yeah.
DDC is their coach.
Oh right, okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Venge is still in the pool, by the way, but I don't know how much these two teams value the Venge. Like, I think Vici really value it. It's like up in their priority list, but I feel like Sparking Arrow just do their own thing from what we saw from their drafts before. They don't care what other teams think. Like, they'll just stick to what they think is best, right? They take the Phoenix away, so RNG can't get Phoenix Mars for themselves, which is very nice. And they take the Pango. Fair enough. They seem to use this hero really well before. They liked it a lot. So I can get behind this.
Yeah, it is SAG. They've got the Phoenix. They've got the Pangolier. They did like that for OP. Now more of a question of what are we going to see from God King. I feel like everybody's here looking, waiting. Like, who's God King going to play? Does he get his anti-mage? Do you give up the anti-mage?
It depends on what they pick here, I think. I'd really like to see them pick up something on RNG that doesn't give Pango a free game, like Rolling Thunder game.
Radiant team
so, things like Wyvern Bane, Beastmaster all come to mind. Oh, that's a really early morph pick.
Yeah, very early. Second pick. To go 2 cores, because you don't see that a lot, 2 cores to start a draft.
RNG's turn.
Normally you try to
Position
stay
5
away
Mars,
from that.
like Sparking Arrow Gaming did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess it could be Red Panda Mars.
Well, if they were the right teams, yeah.
Radiant team
Who is this guy?
RNG's
So it is a Smurf, and this, I don't know, it's been playing with them, or they've been playing on this Smurf for the last couple days. I'm just doing some digging right now.
He's had a nickname of Sumail before, so maybe it's Sumail, dude.
RNG's turn to pick.
Wikipedia for CDA says super, so I'm just going to assume it's super. And if anybody says otherwise in chat, then, is what it is.
They banned the AM, by the way, second phase, and they banned the AA as well.
Why? It's not even like God King's that good at AM. God, just let him have it.
Let us, please.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant
Please.
team pick.
It's so funny that nobody else is like banning or picking AM really. I think we've seen a couple of bans when it's not against Sparking Arrow Gaming, but like every time without fail, whenever anybody plays it, like they respect it so much. It's unreal. I like this Ogre pick though. I think this is really nice. Like it pairs up well with the Morphling in lane if they want to pick a safe lane.
RNG's turn to pick.
It's just a nice protector, and I like that even more.
Yeah, we've seen Bat Riders against Morphlings in lane where Bat Rider just dominates the lane.
But Bat Rider also does well against Mars as well. So now you're in a position for RNG where it's like, well, we need to get one core up against Bat Rider that's good. But we also need to make sure it lanes up against the Bat Rider. Because like you could put Morph mid, but what's to say Sparking Arrow Gaming won't put Bat mid as well? So I have to see what they go for. And they could kind of do with like a save as well. This Bat Rider is like this is an insanely good pick actually. Like this is not something I would have thought of, even though we've been seeing it today. I didn't think they would pick Bat this early. I do like that this Bat here has gone from being like potential first phase to just being a very situational pick if like people early phase their cores, which RNG have done this game. Like you see the side lanes and you're like, yeah, just pick Bat.
Yeah. I also think Bat Rider just, he fits the versatility of drafts right now. He's, could be good in the 3, 4, 5. And I think he gets picked pretty late too. And we've seen him 4th pick. Have we seen him 5th pick?
Yeah, I mean, I've
seen
it
like once or twice, right?
Yeah.
in this
I don't know if
event in particular.
It's been blast picked at least once in this event.
Yeah. And so now the question becomes like, what do they have right now? The Morphlings for the Phoenix, right? Well, not a direct counter. You're picking Morphling because you want Morphling, but you have that for the egg, and now you have the Weaver for the egg. That with Bloodlust too.
So
makes it potentially a 5. Well, it looks like it's a 5 Phoenix regardless with the Pangolier, but
well, it could be 3 Pango, like it could be 4 Batrider, like it could be anything, right? It could be 5 Batrider, it could be mid Batrider. But I don't mind this. I think the Weaver pick's okay. Like we said, they needed a core that could face the Batrider in lane. It also pairs up pretty well with the Ogre. Like they can play it as a support if they really wanted to, because they have last pick overall in the draft if they feel like there's a better option. So I think this is actually like as good as it was possibly going to get for them. Because like if it's a good PL game or something, well, I guess they have Morph. They can't really do that. But
Naga Siren.
Ooh. This is the first Naga we've seen. We've seen it banned a couple of times, but it finally does end up getting an opportunity to come out here.
It's a really good Naga game. There's like no good illusion clear. Like it's all physical damage apart from like Morphling and Fire Blast, I guess, from Ogre. But it's a super good Naga game so far. I think that's a really good pick. It forces them to think about something like Ember or Lesh last, I think, for RNG. Because the problem now is that, they banned the Lesh. Like, it forces them to pick something that not only is okay with their lineup, but also deals with the Naga. Like, they have to... This is the position where you want to be in first pick. You don't want to let them be able to pick a hero that they can just freely pick and not have to worry about anything, right? You want to throw a spanner in the works that they have to react to.
5 seconds remaining.
We haven't seen Leshrac once yet. I mean, obviously it's going to be good there against the Naga Siren, but just in general, just a hero we haven't seen much at all.
I don't think it's a bad hero. Like it's okay.
Radiant team pick.
Harkban. Yeah, they need something that like I talk about this a lot with you about like bridging the gap with the mid lane. They need something that can play tempo. Maybe like it's a pretty bad Viper game actually. Like I don't know.
I don't think Viper does anything for SAG here.
No. I'm trying to think of a tempo hero that actually works for them as a mid laner.
Would TA work?
I don't really like it that much against Morph Weaver.
Maybe
like Quaswex Invoker. Do they play that? I feel like Invoker's not that good at the moment. But...
RNG's turn to pick.
Lena.
Yeah, okay. That's a tempo
burst
hero.
Damage, attack speed. I like that.
I mean, the burst damage is super good against Morph and Weaver, right? Like, if you go Axe at any point, like, the pure damage is crazy.
No. 29 games as Lena, 50% win rate if it's on DD.
Wait.
48%.
I was going to say, did you say 29 games with a 50% win rate? That's an odd number.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Played half a game. It was a draw. Yeah. Abandoned.
I wonder what they... Because, like, Morphling doesn't do great against Lena in lane either, because you can't just harass her. And Weaver doesn't do great against that lane either, so they're stuck in a really difficult position where somebody has to go mid or safe lane against the Batrider or the Lena. And neither of these heroes want to lane against... They could, but then now they'd be stuck in a position where they have to lane something else against the Batrider, right? So now, in an ideal world, what happens here is...
Weaver. Wow.
Yeah, no, now... What's going to happen is, I think they put the Ember mid against the Lena, and they're going to have to put the Morphling against the Batrider. Which just sounds awful. I'd be really surprised if they didn't try and get the Mars against the Batrider instead, as like this is the best scenario for us. Because we really don't want to put either of our other two cores like against it in the Morphling and the Ember. I really like what Sparking Arrow Gaming did with their draft. I think it was really nice. And I think their laning stage is going to be difficult to play for RNG. There's no reason they can't win the game. Like, their mid game looks really good, right? Their lineup's a little bit greedy. They've got Ember Morph, and they've got a Weaver as a position 4. But if they can get their items online, their lineup looks really strong. I just think SAG have kind of forced their hand into picks a little bit here. And it's a pretty good Naga game.
So we'll see how the Naga does, just because you know, I think that sometimes we see slower cores be shut down. I would say maybe that Medusa didn't really fall into that last game. I think Medusa had an opportunity. It was just they were a bit far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we see these slower cores struggle, like a Spectre, you know?
Like, they have Ember that can help deal with the Naga. And this is what I mean. Like, they needed a hero that could deal with the Naga, but also has to lane against, like, Lina or Batrider. And there's just so many boxes that need ticking. And they couldn't tick them all. So they've picked something that deals with the Naga, because if they don't, the Naga's just going to have a free win. So, yeah, maybe their lanes are going to be difficult, but they have to get through them. And just deal with it. And because they need, like, they need a win condition still. Or at least take away the Naga's free win condition. Morphling against Bat just sounds horrendous.
So Naga Siren, is it Yasha? Are you going Yasha Diffusal in this game, or is it straight Manta?
I think you go Diffusal first, and then back for Manta. Like, he might go Yasha, then back for Diffusal, then finish off the Manta, I think. But, you know, this Godkin guy seems to have been doing some different item builds, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him go Halberd Naga or something crazy.
Sanjin Yasha, Halberd Naga.
Yeah.
God, yeah, he really has been doing a couple of weird things.
Shenanigans. So Holy Locket seems to be the next go-to item for Phoenix, just in general. Like, people have started queuing it up almost every single time. Oh, and they get the D ward mid. Red Panda.
With 100 gold.
Has he got another salve coming out or something here? A sentry.
A sentry.
Okay. If he D-wards both wards, I'm leaving. Where is the other ward, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, Weaver has it.
Oh, so he still has a chance.
I love it. They're putting the Pango as the 4, by the way, with the Batrider in the lane. And they're putting the Phoenix with the Naga. I think this is really good. They did block the small camp bot lane, by the way, which is really important. And it's much more difficult to de-ward this small camp now because of how much bigger the box is.
Oh?
Red Panda's going to wait until it spawns, I think. No way. There's no way.
Look at that. Look at Red Panda.
He doesn't care. What a player. That's actually so, like, lane winning as well, like, even more than before.
I feel like I have to just get into my Red Panda onesie. Just in celebration. In solidarity. Yeah. Chat, I don't actually... Alright, I have one. I did.
I didn't want to admit it, but I do.
It's 91 degrees out. I can't wear it right now. It's for the winter.
Weaver did go and body block the small camp, though. They really needed to stop the pulse coming through, so it makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. September's been very good on this Weaver in prior games. I think he impresses me a lot with this RNG lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, this is a star-studded lineup. For people who don't know, you've got Flyby here. You've got September. You you do have Monet, who is a star in his own right, and then of course, you've got Super, who was the mid Super, but is now the second support Super, because there is also a support Super, but I don't know I don't think he played.
That really annoyed me when that happened. There's two support
when they were
supers.
both playing. Yeah, I think one had their name as Super uppercase and Super lowercase.
Yes, yeah, they did. So Batrider's hit level 2 now, so this Ogre needs to start being careful, because if they start building up the napalm stacks really high, the Ogre will just die, like, every time. And OP God might go for this hit. Oh, he loses the napalm. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the extra slow with the Lucky Shot proccing, how do you not chase? And you get that Firefly, have that extra mana, and all of a sudden Ogre just kind of gets caught in a spot where he can't run.
They need to get some more mana regen on this Batrider, though, soon. Because otherwise, he's not going to be able to sustain himself in this lane. He really needs level 3 as well, I think. Like, either level 2 Napalm or Firefly increases his power massively in this laning stage.
Weaver getting low. Over bottom, Icarus dive. Should be okay. Burns pretty low, but not out. God King, he's having a good time, 14-1. I was reading up on him because, you know, obviously, I remember when he jumped onto the scene with the trial with Newbie, and I know I bring this up every time I get a chance to cover him, but somebody had said on Twitter that
Dire's middle tower is
people,
under attack.
he had come out of high school being like the best player. Like, I don't know, because I don't know how the culture is over there in terms of like Dota and video games and everything like that. Like, coming out of high school being the best player, like that's like something you say with like, oh, he came out of high school being the best baseball player.
Yeah, like your American football players and stuff as well, right?
Yeah. So, you know, and then a lot of people saw that he didn't really do anything with his career and called him a fluke. He then went to Newbie and trialed with him, and I remember that trial. Like, that was, I remember tweeting at Newbie like, who is this guy? And he was some kid, or well, he's 20 at the time, going Midas first item TV and losing every game with Newbie. And then I think a little bit of time went by after he got dropped by Newbie where he played for Royal's Academy team. So I honestly thought they might be prepping him to maybe take over here with Royal Never Give Up, but...
OGA, by the way.
Yeah, ooh, super.
He stole the DD rune away, so he might actually just be able to slap the leader down here.
John Olina! Oh my god,
Dude, this
since he
Ogre's
gets
owning.
first blood. Yeah, and he's got the armor to just get both kills.
I think the Ember just salved him. Just to keep him alive, so that they could get the kill. And he wouldn't
That's-
die. Oh,
8 armor, you know?
what a
Pretty
play.
disgusting.
And now the Ember just has bottle coming out because of the Lina kill. I think the Lina very much underestimated the Ogre there.
For sure, especially with the double damage. So, just to finish that last statement off on God King, but, you know, then you see him get with SAG, and SAG, they kind of have, like, these underwhelming results, and they're kind of getting together, they're playing together for a long time, and here we are now, where they took a 3-0 over Vici, something that nobody's expecting, and, I mean, we're into a new patch, and you got to see them morph again. Do they have the ability to adapt?
Yeah.
And I think even if they do have a bad tournament here, I'm not saying they are, I'm not saying they're going to, but if they do, it's the first tournament of a new patch. How long did the last patch last? You know, one tournament is not the end-all be-all of a team.
For sure.
So
this
it's
top lane, by
exciting
the
to
way.
see.
This time as well, neither of these cores are farming that well. Morphling has 17 CS in 5 minutes, Batrider has 14. Like, they're both just... I think that the Morphling's so scared that he can't just, like, CS all the time, but Batrider just doesn't have good CS power, right? He just doesn't have good damage to work with.
Thinking about going on a fly win over bottom, but it's just God King who has 2 in the Riptide, 3 in the Mirror Image. You don't take early points in the Snare, so not too surprising as OP pops a salve. They've got the disarm. They're gonna move over to look for super. Doesn't actually get his salve canceled either, going right next to the Morphling. But behind
So
Alina
just-
is September. Ooh.
Setsu just found a regen rune as well, which is so, like... it's so game-changing for him. It's insane. They want to go on the Batrider here before Firefly's up, but... yeah, it doesn't work. That regen rune's crazy, actually. I can't believe that.
Yeah, that feels lane winning. Not that that first
Radiant's
blood
middle
wasn't.
tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
exactly. He's had 2 very good scenarios so far, considering the lane
Yeah.
matchup that he has.
But still, SAG, they're holding on to a net worth lead, albeit low one. And I think that does stem from the fact that God King's having a good lane. He's 39-2, and despite the first blood given up, Lina's still doing well, as you know, in this lane.
And the most important thing for Sparking Arrow Gaming is, like you say, that the Naga has a good game. And, I mean, God King always needs to have a good game for SAG to do well, I think, but... oh, faded brooch for the Naga, thank you very much.
I was going to say, did September swipe that?
No, almost. He didn't quite manage it. I like that they're giving the Phoenix the lane though, just to get levels. Like he's level 5.5 already, almost.
Ooh, Arena though. And he's going to die.
He does get down. I mean, that's fine though. Like, it's not the end of the world. Naga's just free farming the jungle in the meantime.
Yeah.
PMS
I'd like
for
to
Naga
have him
instead.
get a 6 as quickly as possible, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Dire's
Yeah,
middle
PMS
tower
for Naga
is
though
under
instead. By
attack.
the way, like you just give the faded breaks your way to like somebody like the Lina or the Bat Rider now. It's really good for both of them. And this is the problem with the Weaver, right? Like, you... Oh my god, a Royal Jelly for the Naga as well?
God.
I assume they give it to her. Yeah, oh, that's
Yeah.
insane, actually.
So good. And Naga's off to a fantastic start. So is this Lina. Like, look at what DD's able to accomplish. I feel like DD's quietly, like, a star for this team.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, a lot of the emphasis is on God King, and, you know, you do have OP who
Radiant's
had
bottom
his
tower is under attack.
tenure with the IG lineup that played so well.
OP God's level 6 now, by the way, on this Bat Rider as well, so they might look to try and rotate the Phoenix up towards top when he hits level 6 with the egg, and then they can look to play around the lasso and the egg between them. A mid lane, DD.
It's getting chased. 3 heroes. They're gonna catch him, or will they? A good
Yeah,
stun.
slight change in 1 second.
Oh,
Dire are
the
scanning.
jukes. Oh, but they are just
Radiant's
pursuing.
middle
Oh,
tower
it's
is under
nighttime though,
attack.
they don't see him.
They don't see him. So Monet happens to get a kill on the Bat Rider, and Bat Rider's in the middle of the enemy jungle by
Radiant
himself.
are scanning.
Like, this Morphling's had a much better time than I thought he would, though. Like, his net worth is starting to really push forward here.
He's going Lincoln's first, and I understand it. I get it. Makes a lot of sense.
Radiant's middle tower is
Sometimes though,
under
when you see
attack.
Morphlings go Lincoln's first, it seems like their game is too slow. But it's certainly necessary in this matchup.
The thing is, like, if you're going Lincolns as well, you don't even need the Mask of Morbid Mask, whatever it's called, to help you sustain in the jungle, because you have the Ring of Health.
And they got the lasso, they'll grab the kill on a Flywind, Searing Chains onto Felix as well as OP. They'll run away from Super coming in too. Stun hits onto the Bat Rider, and they'll give chase. Ignite Supernova. Can you keep chasing under the tower? They're going to look to take out the egg. I don't know if they can, and now he'll Remnant to avoid it. What a job by Setsu. Felix still
Radiant's
dies.
top tower
OP
Oh
God's still
my.
chasing him, though. He has, like, 6 napalm charges on him and no remnants at the moment. His Firefly up in 1.
That's gonna be he's gonna burn out if he's
Oh my
not too
God,
careful,
Setsu.
but he at least gets Red Panda. Setsu being a baller at the moment. 9 stacks
Mars
if you
TP.
can just get him, but you can't go into Flywind like that, and he'll refill his bottle.
They're playing really well on RNG, actually. Like, I think SAG had a better draft overall for their laning stage and things, but RNG are just making all the right rotations. And this is what I was saying with the Ember pick, right? Like, you need to pick a hero that's good for the game rather than the laning stage, which they've definitely done. Like, and he's playing really well. Like, obviously, I think every mid player is an Ember player at the moment. But even so. Did the Panga take the tome? Yeah, he did. He's level 6 now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He has no remnants out, by the way, on Setsu.
So now he's got one, and the Rolling Thunder goes to the back, maybe hoping that he would jump for it, and he finally does. Laguna Blade gets used. Monet in on this, looking over at Red Panda. OP gets a couple of stacks of sticky napalm on him. They also take out Felix. Searing Chains hits the Lina as well as the Bat Rider. The damage is too heavy. DD, he gets the stun off, but it looks like he'll be run down. As I say that, though, Waveform finishes him off. And Naga's in
Like,
here,
why is
but
the Naga
Naga's
coming?
stunned. I don't know why God King's coming in when you've already lost 3. Maybe he thinks he can get a kill here on Monet with the help of OP, but the spear follows in, and now they've got the Waveform. Back is Setsu. God King
he missed the
needs to
change.
run, and he doesn't have Song to work with, so he's dead, and I'm not certain why he shows up to this fight.
Yeah, that's just like hard outplay, like of a fight. They're just like baiting them all over the place. They're splitting the fight up. They're just really struggling to hold this Morphling down. And like, is anybody building a vessel? Like, I don't know. This is like Phoenix isn't building a vessel. He's going Holy Locket first. And Pango's just got no gold. I think Phoenix is the one that's probably supposed to be buying it, but he's so poor. And it's getting to the point in the game now where because they're just like hard outplaying them in the fights. I don't know. Like, this Morphling's going to start to take over the game really soon. This Lina needs to be playing on the front foot, right? But because she's like such a snowball heavy hero, if you like make these mistakes early on, it can be really difficult to recover your game.
is under attack.
Oh, DD misses the stun as well.
All of a sudden,
Radiant's
God
middle
King, who
tower
we thought
is
was
under
having a very
attack.
open and safe game where he was farming really well, he's sitting 1,400 gold behind this Morphling. So Monet
side
has
note-
spiraled into a great spot.
Yeah. On a side note, by the way, as well, Weaver just finds an arcane ring. Like, it's like the perfect tier 1 item for him.
Going straight Ags after this turn.
Radiant's bottom
Like, you
tower
want the
is
save
under
against
attack.
the lasso and things, and the Laguna Blade and stuff. Like, if your Morphling gets low, you need to be able to just bail him out from all this like raw damage that comes through.
Radiant's middle tower is
He's
under
actually farming
attack.
pretty well though on September, considering his hero. Like, all this space that the Ember's making just allows him to come in and like try and take some of the farm, and some of the
Radiant's
space that's
middle
being made
tower
for him
is under attack.
on their team. And now they're going to take
Radiant's
mid tier 1 as well,
structures
just
are
starting opening up the map. Monet doesn't even have any items apart from like Tread's double Wraithband really, but now with that ultimate orb as well.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Lasso on the Ember. They've got the Rolling Thunder. This is going to bounce around and
can't
do
kill him,
some
though.
work. But look at God King. He's already low, and he might just die, even despite using this song. He's going to Remnant forward, and... Oh, mirror image! God King? No, Remnant will finish him off. And Setsu, he's not even going to die here. They'll get the kill into DD. I honestly think you might be able to call the game here, but I don't want to jump the gun yet. And you dive in too far, you lose a couple, and all of a sudden it feels really bad, but it looks like they're going to still lose 4 as he morphs into the Pangolier. Monet, though...
He's stuck in trees.
Stuck in the trees? It's fine. And again, I don't want to jump the gun on, calling the game or anything like that, but it's a situation that it's like you said, Lina needs to start well, and this is 3 straight fights where RNG have come out victorious. Oh dear. Red Panda.
Poor guy.
Survives.
Dire are scanning.
Selfish. Comforting.
And Morphling has Lincolns coming out on Corey now, by the way. As if they weren't struggling enough to kill him already.
Yeah. Setsu's always been this very good mid, and it's no surprise to see him performing well. But again, I just think it just all comes back to how good everybody is in China right now.
I think it's surprising about how well he's doing, like, in comparison, right? Not to say that SAG aren't... I think they've just made too many mistakes in this early stage of the game, which is when they should be stronger. Like, you can't look at these two lineups and think, yeah, maybe if it goes, like, really late, the Naga can win them the game, but...
Need a
She is
lot of
actually-
time.
She's going Manta first as well before the Diffusal, so her damage output isn't even going to be, 100% there. I think they really need the Diffusal Blade to get on top of the Morphling and the Ember and things. Like, they need to be able to drain their mana.
God, OP. Rolling Thunder comes in, but they've got the Arena Laguna Blade. Ogre burns out of the Supernova, but they've got a bunch of heroes here to pop that egg. Felix can only just run. The Adaptive Strike hits the Remnant
They got
forward
shot.
for GD. And
Oh
Slight
my God.
avoids the stun, and there's another kill as DD goes down. Felix will follow. Monet claims that bounty. 3 kills for the side of RNG.
That's Slight, by the way.
Setsu's so good.
Not only does he dodge the LSA with Slight, but he also manages to hit the chains, which when he's also standing in the middle of all the creeps. So not only has he done really well, but he also gets, RNG on his side. The gods are smiling down today on RNG.
Yeah, I mean, Setsu... What's crazy is Setsu's younger than God King. Like, God King's coming in as the youth talent here. But Setsu, you wouldn't think it with how long Setsu's been in the scene.
Top lane, though.
Yeah, Flywin, he's getting chased. He'll end up dead. They'll get themselves something out of this. Like, Setsu's been around since his CDC days, and even before that, of course. But, like, Setsu's been in the front of everything for a couple of years now. I think like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years. OP gets spotted again. He'll try to TP out. They, with the Shikuchi, don't have the damage though.
And into a bit of a farm fest for the Morph almost, I think, for the next 2 minutes. I say that, they're just killing the Pango.
Yeah,
I'm talking
they're
a load
just-
of crap.
Morphing into the Spangolier and just Swashbuckle getting that kill.
It's really difficult to see, to try and like big SAG up here, right? Like they're slowly just getting run over here by this Ember that's just all over the place, like the Morphling. Ember has Ags, by the way, as if he wasn't all over the place enough already. Like, this is... Yeah, they catch the Bat Rider here as well.
Yeah, OP looking dead, as maybe does Red Panda.
They want the
He's
leader,
got to
though.
run. Icarus dive away, and yeah, he's only alive because they want this Alina. And while DD lands the stun, what does he really do? He throws a Laguna out, and he's got nothing more to offer.
They're calling it here, by the way. I'm sorry, like 100% certain. Surely. There's no way you throw a Laguna Blade like that and then just don't call it.
I could do it.
Maybe God King's like, dude, chill out. I've got this. It's fine. Oh, he missed the chains! Oh, he almost stopped the Naga TP to get away. Just lost vision in the second for a fog. Because of the fog. Yeah. And they get their bot tier 2 now with the Morph.
They'll look for September, but he's got time lapse. Okay. Dust comes in, God King and OP on the run, Searing Chains comes through, but there's the mirror image, Swarm thrown forward, Flame Break hits on a Setsu. Not
imagine if the Naga had Diffusal there, right? Like, he just rips through the Ember. See, obviously the Manta's like the safer choice, but I think with the way that the game went, he has to take risks, unfortunately. They should probably look to try and take Roche soon, I think. Weaver's 300 gold off Ags, which is probably what they're really waiting for to try and force a huge fight. But, yeah, they're so far ahead. This Pango's felt, you know, almost next to no impact, it feels like. They don't even have lasso for 40 seconds here, like, I don't...
It's certainly a hard fight to take, but one you might even just be forced to take because you're so far behind and there's really no other options. Supernova comes in at a decent spot. Arena's down, spear hits, they kill off the Mars. September, he's also pretty low, but Setsu, he'll grab the kill on a Felix Chauba, and now they'll turn this the other way. Stun hits on a God King, he's got the song, holds it, he stutters for a second, they don't kill this Morphling. He gets the morph into strength, survive, and now the song is just so late. Now let's say the damage out onto the Ogre is enough, but it looks like they're going to lose numbers for that.
Yeah, it looked like an okay fight at the start, right? Like they killed off the Mars straight away, which is really good. But unfortunately, the rest of the team showed up in the Morphling and the Ember. And, like you said, they almost killed the Morphling just before he got the wand and the strength morph off, but yeah, it wasn't to be. I think they managed to catch him in a stun while he was agi morphing, which almost, you know, spelt his end. But unfortunately, did not happen like that. And now September has Ags, it's like coming out on the courier. Was it 100 gold? Yeah, good luck trying to kill anybody now.
Oh.
Invisibility.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
$15K lead. Obviously anything can happen, but we've both we're both trying to be as optimistic as possible.
As much as I like a good underdog, this is looking rough. Just like that dog joke, rough?
I'll ask Cooper how he feels about it. He's up right now.
The production is just groaning.
Well, they invited us back. So they knew this was coming.
Yeah, that's true. They should have known better. They're trying to find some. They're trying to find something top here with Lasso, by the way, but there's just nobody defending this tower. They're going to try and push mid tier 2 and probably go for Roche instead soon. Oh, they're actually smoked up. Okay.
Dire's top tower
I have a feeling this might be the final fight if this goes badly for SAG. Like, Naga's still
You
farming.
can't say that 3 times in a row.
I can't. I'm really surprised I didn't call it before.
Yeah, it was definitely close. And now you've got that Blink Arena as well as the E-Blade. Oh, God. And by God, I mean God King. He is just gone, and they get the deny on the tower too.
Yeah, and if they're going to take a Roche, now's the time, because the only thing they're worried about really around the Roche pit is this. Well, I guess Rolling Thunder's quite annoying as well, but the Naga sleep is the big thing, because if the Roche gets really low, she pops sleep, runs in, steals the Aegis. Like, that's an absolute disaster for RNG. So they're just going to take the Aegis here. I assume they're going to put it on the Morphling. And it's going to be go time. To at least take the rest of these tier 2s to start off with.
And this game started with a lot of promise.
Do you know what, Beacon? I think if they lose one more fight on SAG, they might call it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Morphling almost says BKB, by the way. As if he didn't already have enough net worth to work with.
Yeah.
Cheeky little Imp Claw as well. Always nice.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's tough. You know, you don't want to call it too early. You want to give it everything you can, or maybe, you know, a lot of. I know a lot of casters say this going through the motions just to talk about the next game.
I don't think that happens.
But I've never been in the comms of a real game, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Especially one where you're down this much for so long.
I would understand it if they thought it was like the last couple of minutes of the game or something, but they must feel like they can still win the game with Naga. Like when she gets this diffuser blade, I think they have to take a good fight. That's the big timing, right? Like they need to be able to try and take them by surprise with the damage from the illusions and things. I don't think it will, because they're just so tanky now, and they're so massive on the RNG side. I don't think it's possible for them to take a good fight at this point. Like they need like a perfect egg into like everybody just lining up for the Rolling Thunder. Lasso the Morphling when he's on full Agimorph.
We'll say maybe the blink helps out if Pango can get to that.
Yeah, potentially. It's a difficult one. I really don't like that OP God took the talent, by the way, on Batrider as well.
The spell amp instead of going flame break.
Oh, they
find September,
but
caught him off the time lapse. That's not bad.
But that is 5 heroes for a Weaver while the Morphling's free farming in the bot lane. Like, a kill's a kill. Like, they're so far behind, it's probably worth it. But, like, now you don't have Laguna Blade, and they're pushing your bot tier 3. What's the answer? It's actually just dying. Like,
Dire's structures are fortified.
Wait. Lasso, but look at that. Immediately stopped. OP dies. Again, it's not only the lineup that you're up against, but you know how far behind you are.
Maybe if they could have tried to take a fight before the Morphling gets BKB, it's a little bit easier, right? But
Link in the arena catches everybody but OP, who is buying back. Supernova's down, but the kill off God King, Felix, and now the egg. 3 heroes gone, make it a 4th DD follow suit. And that will be GG. RNG with a quick game 1, and, you know, one that looked good start to finish, basically.
I mean, the fight that really went mental, like, was crazy for them, was that one around the bot tier 1 on the Radiant side. Like, I don't know what that was. It turned into an absolute disaster for them, and they fell like 3k behind or something at that point. And when you're playing against these heroes with the lineup that you have, like, this Lina needs to be playing from in front the whole game, right? Like, she needs to be finding kills with, like, an early Yules. It just didn't ever happen like that. And yeah, you know, we can theory craft all we want in the draft, but unfortunately, if those early fights go as bad as they did for Sparking Arrow there, then there was only going to be one winner.